still remain to be a dominant tribe in terms of numbers. That is a fact of miracle that needs to be studied and interrogated. Why? Now, it is known that the people from the mountain are not promiscuous. And if they are promiscuous, they do not really have a lot of time for sexual pleasure. They are being told that they are not good when it comes to matters making love. And so why are the numbers soaring for them? That culture need to be studied. Now, these wars that always happen in the world, including the one that led to the bombing of the Nairobi city in August, bomb blast, is related and connected to the world wars. These Christian and sacrilegious war, Christian and Muslim war, started during the Crusades. The Church of the West invaded the Arabs who had occupied Palestine. And it is a war that went for around 400 years. And of course, the Arabs won, and Islam became one of the dominant religious groups in the world that dominated the known world then, from Africa to Europe to Asia and Arabia. And so this work still continues today. And whenever you see the First World and Second European ethnic war that tagged along other people to make it the world war, is like the WWF wrestling. It is called an international wrestling because it draws people from different nations. So it becomes international, but it does not happen all over the world. So for me, anything that is called ecumenical or international and only happens in one place, to me does not meet the standard of an international event or meeting. If it moves from, like World Cup, the way it moves from one continent to another, that is an international event. These other ones, the NBA, it only happens in America and Europe. It does not happen in Africa. Until NBA comes to Africa, it's still not an international event. So for me, you need as Africans to raise standards and start setting up definitions that will favor us. Otherwise, if we sit back as people who are only waiting to be told what to do, we're waiting for instructions, we're waiting for people to think on our behalf, because the amount of hatred that was met on us during the brainwashing teaching systems is enormous. It goes from generations to generations, and these kind of effects make us look mediocre in anything we try to do. And that's why we are called monkeys, and I keep on repeating this, because we ape what others think about us, and they tell us what to do, and whatever they tell us to do, it is a replica of what they know, other than us promoting our innovation and creativity. Our universities need to be challenged. Now, this war that is continuing today, of the Al-Qaeda came, the ISIS came, and these revelations are coming up that these were Islamic groups, militia groups, and terrorist groups that were funded by the CIA. They were funded by Europeans. They were funded so that, one, there was the idea of stealing the historical culture of the Arabs and non-Arabs, okay, who became Islam or Muslims. And so they used as an Islamic tool to attack them and destroy. And whenever these were being destroyed in Iraq, in Syria, in Iran, in Palestine, in Africa, in Egypt, in Sudan, among other places. The Europeans and the Americans were busy collecting artifacts just to fill up their museum, because it is a booming business. And if you want to learn about Africa, you go to those countries. So it costs you money: air ticket, hotel, tour guide, the admission fee to the museum. And so to them, it's business. It is not a matter of heritage. It is not a matter of spirituality and connection with the ancestors. To them, it is purely business. And this is what has happened. People today, when you suffer, you go to the hospital, you are given a bill of an oxygen that is free. You are given a bill of lying on a bed. So basic things, water you drink from the hospital is sold. Are these institutions really saving life or making business, making money? And that's why we have doctors who do not have that natural call, but they are trained, and they have to clamor and fight for their good salaries, because they pay a good hefty of money for them to be trained to do what they do. I really miss and I wish I lived during the time when all these systems were free, and people who were special in doing such special duties to the community did for the community for free, and the community appreciated them. And these were people who came naturally, bearing that kind of gift and calling. And so we lost a lot of things, but that is not to say that we cannot reclaim. We can reclaim. And now these wars continues. As they continue and they take away all our cultures and destroy whatever little we have preserved, it goes to say that even the war between Russia and Ukraine, it is a war that started after the Cold War. After the Cold War, the Europeans won, and they set up what they called NATO, the North Atlantic trade organization, something like that. Okay, but it has a military angle, and so whenever they want to have something that will influence the world, the Europeans and the North Americans come together, and they have tagged along Asian countries like South Korea and Japan, and they are targeting other Asia Pacific countries. But there is something that came up after the USSR died. Something came up in the 90s. Russia did not die, but Russia reinvented the wheel. And most of the members from the USSR became allies, business allies. And for them to protect themselves, they expanded this friendship to China and India. And very recently, in the early 2000s, when China became a superpower, it became the handmaid of Russia, and Russia really helped because of the satellite. They were the first people to send a satellite into space, and so they controlled information. Though that information was again countered by the Americans when they sent people to the moon. So this is when the NATO became strong, because now they were able to control the conversation and communication systems of the world as the Russians. And so the Russians started sharing their intels with these new superpowers, China and India. And very recently, they came up with a BRIC economy, economic bloc, as an alternative to not to be with the Europeans anymore. And so the fight that is coming up is a war of trying to bring down the BRICS. And so when Russia was almost being attacked in 2014, it attacked Ukraine and annexed Donbass and these other places. And this idea of annexing, again, you look at Israel is annexing Palestine and Lebanon. And now the Americans are striking the Iranians. And so this to me seems like it is a multipolar war. And the only Europeans who like starting a history with war and ending another with war. And so the war that is called forever war, it is costing us a lot of time, a lot of money, and progress, economic progress that was sold to us is coming to a standstill because people can no longer pay for the services and buy goods because cost of production is skyrocketing and prices are soaring high. Now, in the next decade, according to tech, because this war, what is happening and the biggest winners of this war are the people who sell arms, the arm dealers. And the arm dealers are making money in this way. When the Americans are taking their nuclear heads and their bombs to Israel and Ukraine, they want to show their firepower might. But unfortunately, the Russians and the North Koreans are collaborating and they are showing their new firepower might. The American firepower might is outdated, and the new technology that Ukraine is now becoming a superpower on in the response of the Russian attacks is the drone technology. And this technology, the people in tech are now drawn towards innovating war machines. And this is where money is. So America is losing. They are losing their stockpiles, which is outdated anyway. The Russians are they've already expended their outdated stockpiles and they are getting new technologies. Okay. The Israeli are also doing new technologies. And so the technology that again has dazzled all these people is the Iranian technology, which nobody saw it coming. And so the war on the Strait of Hormuz is a war that was meant to disrupt the selling of oil. And that's why when we talk about global warming and climate crisis, these people do not understand that language. They still know that there is a lot of oil and a lot of potential to convert that oil into wealth. And so they won't do away with that. So what they're saying, it is the people who are less developed, like the Africans and the indigenous Latin Americans and to some extent the people in Australia, the global south mainly, they will be given what is called carbon credits for them to plant trees so that they can continue with the industrialization while our natural environments will convert the emission, the greenhouse gases into oxygen, and the world will continue to develop, the developed world, and they will give Africans a token of appreciation for standing with them as they continue to progress. So, talking about technology, there was a technological growth. And I remember when I bought my first phone, it was a 2G cellular phone. But it has moved from 2G to 3G. I don't think I had 1G. Whether I had it or not, I was not aware. But I think the GCM phone were probably 1G and 2G. I only realized 2G when the smartphones came with the button, but the colored screen and stuff, those were the 2G. And so moving to 3G to 4G, and 4G really went by very fast. It went by very fast. we in Africa did not even recognize it. So we moved straight from 3G to 5G. And 5G was influenced by China, and it brought a lot of fear. And even the migration was very impactful, because the Americans were saying that China is using the 5G through TikTok, and also as a tool of surveillance and, of course, monitoring conversations. And of course, that was demonstrated that it was true. Huawei was a phone that had the 5G technology in it, and it was sold across the world. And Huawei was the only phone that was competing with iPhone at that level. And Samsung was almost being forgotten. And so when this alarm was raised, people became aware of what was 5G and what was all these Gs. And of course, the Americans had the luxury of enjoying monitoring and surveilling other people's communication across the world. And China is now a new entrant. And so we have three people who monitor and surveil people's conversation and movement, which now China is the third party. The first was Russia, the Americans, and now China. And so the idea of 5G was that in the next decade, which begins in 2030, the 6G technology is going to be even much more worse. The 6G technology is going to be integrated with the AI, artificial intelligence, which is now a product of 5G. And whatever the artificial intelligence has done, it has disrupted what was called the machine learning. It has disrupted what is called the Internet of Things. It has brought the human robonoids, and it has really moved a notch higher of making us understand that technology is the way to go. And that's why the African Orthodox TV Kenya, through the Orthodox Professional and Entrepreneurs Network, it is bringing up other products, a digital radio and digital studio. So the digital studio, we are going to incorporate AI in photography, videography, and of course recording of music and voices, and even podcast, and so on and so forth. And all these are going to happen because we want to adopt the AI technology and the 5G technology. So that means that when the 6G will be coming along, we want to be one of the first companies that will be able to employ this. And that's why this year I want to appeal to all members of the Orthodox Professionals and Entrepreneurs Network. Please let us invest in this company. Though it is a company not guaranteed by shares, but it is guaranteed by, I'm losing that word. It is not by shares, but by guaranteed. Limited by guaranteed, yes. It is not limited by shares, but limited by guaranteed. Guarantee of the members. So you need to guarantee yourself in this company that when this technology is going to come, we are not mandated to sell, but we are mandated to train, we are mandated to give platforms that you yourself as individuals are able to have your own business companies, and we will be getting a lot of benefits from us. And it is through your contribution that we are going to have acquisition of assets which will be tax exempted. And so it is through this technology and this company structure that we have found that it is the only way that the Orthodox Christians who have languished in poverty, after having a history of liberating Kenya through the Mau Mau members and priests who are members of the Orthodox Church and the African Independent and Pentecostal Church of Africa, we have languished behind. Again, we have also we entered into a history that, unlike our brothers and sisters from the IPCA, who have always been independent all through, and their churches are all over, and they have 90 bishops, a strategy of spreading self-sustenance and development, which we do not have. We entered into a period of history in 1969 of dependency, and the people who wanted to show us the way and out of dependency, the late Bishop Gathuna and the late Bishop Nifon Kigondo, who is Ackman-Wright. I can't remember Ackman-Wright Kigondo. Now, these are the people whom we turned away from. And whenever they wanted to tell us that this is not the way, this is not what we fought for, it was too late. But we want to correct all that. We want to correct all that by having more awareness on what is the security, what will be the security of our people when this technology comes in. And these forever wars are going to use this 6G, because 5G is already becoming a common thing among the arms dealers. And the arms dealers are not going to make a new technology. Iran has been making this new technology for quite a long time. And so with the stockpiles that are ending and the outdated bombs and war machines, new technology is going to be applied. By the time 6G is coming, new technology of war is going to have emerged, and the drone technology is going to be improved. And so for us, we want to look at the efficacy of doing things. We want to see how convenient any idea and innovation is going to be developed in the shortest way possible. Like, for example, anybody can sing. This is our mantra. You can sing, record yourself, send to us your recording, and we will improve through AI whatever you're singing and bring it back to you in 1 hour. So that is the efficiency that the African Orthodox Digital Studio wants to bring in. And the African Orthodox Digital Media is going to also send us your photo. We improve your photo and we send it back to you. And you have a beautiful profile picture for your social media, for the funeral of your loved ones, for your album, for your story. We want to engage in short films. We want to engage in video songs. And we develop all these things by AI and making it beautiful. It will cost you less. And so we say the traditional way of creating artistic products in the music industry, in the film industry, is going to change. You'd rather have 10 films that you have created, or you have 10 music videos for people to watch online. These videos that we traditionally did are not sustainable. The quality dilapidates with time. New technology comes and people prefer not to watch those outdated kind of pictures. And so people are moving with time. So it's better you move with time, sign with us as we prepare to launch those new products. Now, these 6G connected with AI will now become a threat, and they will need a measure. People will need a measure to protect the welfare of the people. And so innovators are going to be one, those who are going to be part of the proponents of the AI 6G technology, which is said will be able to expand to extraterrestrial world. And that will be dangerous, because that means that even weapons of war and mass destruction, like Saddam Hussein used to say that he has his missile in the moon. This now goes to show that weapons are going also to be stored in the outer space. And in the event of how the nuclear warheads have been set, just in case there is a nuclear war, there are going to be bases set in the outer space, which is most dangerous. And so this 6G is one of the technology that will not need an interface. It will not need a phone. It will not need a camera. It will not need any gadget. And so it is one that is going to go through the waves, like the digital waves for the radio and the television, and so on and so forth. And so this is a very powerful tool, and this tool will need to be managed. One, the health risks. The health risks will not come only from food. That's why I tell people, eat what you grow. Today, you cannot trust anybody. We used to grow up being told by our parents, don't eat from strangers. People are eating from KFC, who is a stranger. People are eating from McDonald's, who is a stranger. People are taking tea and coffee from Java, who is a stranger. And of course, you realize that these people are not even buying raw materials from our local market. And so they are here to reap our people and fleece our people. And so the elites of Africa, because they want to live an American or European life in Africa, and they frequent those areas, and so they become major consumers instead of using their wealth to promote people with ideas, for them to come up with companies like McDonald's and all these things. They are happy to wear expensive clothes with the brands from Europe, but nobody will recognize you in Europe when you wear something that comes from their own creativity. But if you go with an African Ankara and you wear everything Africa, the Europeans are going to mesmerize both rich and poor, and they are going to like you. And so what we are saying is that we need to look at this technology from a very decisive angle, because these structures of the systems of control that are laid in Africa by the Europeans are going now to take advantage of the 6G. They will know the kind of medication one will need because of the radiation that is going to be too much. And so they will be the first people to protect their own. And whenever Africans want to medication or this kind of protection, they have to part with a lot of money. So again, it brings in the idea of population control through innovation. Bill Gates was in court this year, and the idea of the COVID-19 and the population control came around. And when this idea came about, Anthony Fauci, who was the American lead physicist or scientist who was looking into matters COVID-19, is now on trial. And all these people are accused that COVID-19 was a moment where the world was put into a state of being injected with vaccines that are now being questioned whether they were relevant, whether they were necessary, and what effects is happening today, whether those vaccines are pre-exposing people to cancerous cases and deaths. Because every time you hear somebody is dead somewhere, we have more funerals in your area. I'm sure you can tell that there are funerals every other week or every other month. And so these are the things that people are questioning. So don't rush to these new things that are being brought and especially given for free. Question them. And so the idea of protecting even our environment, our food systems, our health system, the politicians will need to do a lot, not only just ousting somebody who is a blue-eyed, because even the other people from the oppositions in Kenya are also positioning themselves to benefit from what the blue-eyed boy in the current regime is benefiting from. So they are not even as innovative as it should be. And it is very important to know that according to Theodora Scarato, who is the author of Wireless and EMF Programs, she says that the 6G will depend on what we call implants and microchips. So the idea, the age of microchips and implants is here. And by 2030, this is going to even change the economy and how we have been behaving and acting as players of the economy. Probably money is going to go digital. And as you have known, Donald Trump is among the leaders who benefited a lot from the Bitcoin. He did not believe in the Bitcoin, and he said that that thing needs to be scrapped. And that is the way to go. People are going to use more and more of fiat currency, digital currency. And so this digital thing needs to be understood from the angle of your context and look at it, how it's going to help you. Don't emulate whatever is happening from Europe. We are going to lose big time because we will be continuing to monkey do, monkey see. Okay, monkey see, monkey do, monkey hear, monkey say. And for us, let us take that platform because it is a part of globalization, but let us do it differently this time round. And this time is going to change human into robonoids, because the 5G turned robots into humanoids. And so we are going to have a lot of zombies being used by people, probably more violence, which does not have its causes. It does not promote any ideology of human consciousness and unity. And of course, what is going to happen is that people are going to invest in more data centers. And these data centers have not been operationalized by law. Like, for example, the radiation law was last reviewed in 1996. And we see the technological and cellular masts, or the masts, the mast pillar, all over our areas. And we have not been told the amount of radiation that we need to have in an area that are emitted by those masts. And people have not been empowered as well to use their phone technology to identify the amount of radiation that is surrounding their villages. We have not been empowered to learn to know that, so that we are able to sue companies that have been producing more radiation. Because what happens is that now there is the internet reselling, and those who are reselling internet do not have the money to invest in the data centers. So they use these masts to resell the internet from the mobile service provider through their data service provision. And the amount of radiation is likely to be increased if more resellers are going to depend on these cellular masts. Again, for these cellular masts to be able to serve people in a wider coverage, and the continuing increasing number of cellular users, they will need to increase their radiation to be able to meet the demand of these people. And so the amount of radiation, I will confirm today that it has been compromised from the time these masts were first laid in your area. And so it is very important for us to have a lot of information about these technologies so that we are able to teach our people before things get out of control. So it is important for us to stop only communing things that are coming our way, and let us become people who understand what is happening for our safety. So this time of the 5G forever war there are also things that are called forever chemicals that are in the fabrics that we are buying. There's a lot of raw materials that is left as residue from the petroleum industry. And once the plastics were banned, the single-use plastics were banned, and they still remain banned, but they become necessary evil because there is no anything that we can use to probably carry our water around, probably buy milk and carry in a container, store water in the fridges. And so people are using single-use plastics by reusing them, which again it is a source of carcinogens. And of course, we need to know that even some of the, like I said, clothes that we're using, even these forever chemicals are coming into our water. Once the industrial waste comes into contact with our source of waters, we are becoming exposed to cancer. And so more and more people are going to face cancerous deaths. And I'm sure in your neighborhood or in your family, you have already lost somebody from these cancer complications or related health complications. And so the government needs to not only to be part of a polar in the multipolar world, but the government of the day needs to understand the geopolitics, whereby the race of geopolitics today is going towards what? No, let us not only follow others, let us question, let us have a stop and look at what the Iranians are doing and why. Look at why Israel is finishing Palestine, why Russia is attacking Ukraine, why America is attacking Iran, and why India almost began a war with Pakistan, and why the Houthis and the Iraqis are attacking Saudi. These are the questions. There must be something of economic value that they are looking for. And so the idea of even these green technology is going to die with the 6G technology, because these machines that use green technology are also depending on minerals that have caused war in Congo and the Sahel, where the rare earth minerals come from. And so if gadgets are not going to be used in this technology, it is implants and chips. So it means that people will not need a phone for them to communicate. You'll need a chip. Just the way the phone technology has been reduced into spectacle technology and watch technology, whereby you can have your phone on the wrist, you can have your phone and cameras on your shades and spectacles. This is going to be reduced into now human beings becoming media, the medium of information. And so it is very important for us to know that even the social media is going to change. Once the gadgets are removed, where do you think the social media will go to? It will go to people. And so we'll have a lot of people who will be able to afford these chips and implants, them as being a source of knowing what the world is doing. So people are going to be put back into darkness and confusion and limbo, and only the enlightened are going to survive. If you think this thing is a myth, you need to understand the idea of enlightenment from the medieval era, and this idea of eliminating others and promoting those who are of like-mindedness. From the time that I mentioned, from the time of the Greco-Roman Empire in Africa, our empires did not have such systems. And so these systems came from the Greco-Roman Empire, and they're still continuing today. And of course, for me, I will stand with the Global South, with the BRICS. Personally, if there's any investment that is going to come up, because this is the only economic bloc and a cultural bloc that is intending to retain the traditional way of life and respecting each other's opinion and promoting what is anti-West. They say that Africans have retrogressive traditions, and people who benefit from donor money are the biggest mouthpiece of such claims. But remember, even the West have retrogressive cultures. Homosexuality is a retrogressive culture from both the Arabs and the Western Europeans. The idea of mass murder, which is genocide, it is an idea that came from these two cultural outfits. The idea of land grabbing and annihilating people and grabbing their countries, it is an idea that came from these two cultures. The idea of people dying for the cause of either religious cause, it is not an African thing. Africans never died for their religious causes. They only died preventing their livelihoods, which is protecting their natural resources from invaders. And so on and so forth. I can mention a lot of retrogressive cultures that come from both Western Europe and from the Arabs. And so it is important that for us, whatever we do does not end in profits. We don't need profits. We need people. And we need people because people are able to secure the future for one another, because it is only in good relations that one generation has that the next generation is going to advance and make the human interpersonal relationship better, because you're able to look out for one another. These other cultures from the Arabs and the Western Europeans, they do not understand interpersonal relationships and even communal way of life, because they get their wealth from doing bad things. And so from doing bad things, you will need to protect yourself. And so how do you protect yourself? You protect yourself by having surveillance and eliminating others and living an individualistic life. So thank you so much. We have talked a lot about the commemoration of the bomb blast and the transfiguration. And it is by the grace of God that I pray we will be able to understand what is our purpose of life and what is our mandate. And we, in the face of these forever wars, forever chemicals that are contaminating our lives, and the threat of cancer, and the 6G AI integrated technology that is coming up by 2030, that God will only be faithful and merciful to us and help us find a way through the Holy Spirit of how to overcome this existential challenge and this new chapter of conflicts and wars. May God bless you so much. May God keep you, and may God continue to maintain you within His grace and to preserve you for His salvation, and of course use you in His vineyard to spread the gospel of peace, love, and unity. Be blessed. I'm your host of the African Orthodox Church,